everyone. Today we are here to study chapter 1 Indian Constitution of 8th standard political science. In our first video of 8th standard we have seen meaning of constitution and we have also seen need of Indian constitution. We have completed with the meaning of Indian constitution or meaning of constitution. We have seen that constitution means a document which has rules and regulations which is followed by government to run the country, and that document is called as constitution. And we have also seen that why we need a constitution. We need a constitution for so many reasons. As time passes, government has changed, but when governments are changing, our rules and regulations has not changed because it is written down in the constitution, and each and every government needs to follow the rules and regulations of constitution. That is why we need a constitution. We have learned that in detail in our last video. Now in this particular video we are going to learn about the features of Indian constitution. What features our Indian constitution is having. As I have told you before that our constitution is made by, or it is remarkably made by Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. He was an architecture of Indian constitution. So he has written the rules and he has written the regulations which should be there in our constitution, which is required to run our country. He keep in mind that what needs and requirements our country is having politically, economically and socially, and accordingly he made our constitution. Now we will see what are the features of our Indian constitution which make our constitution special. Now we see the first one. First one is a detailed written constitution. As we compare Indian constitution with other countries like England and America, they are having unwritten constitution. The constitution has not been written. But we have a special feature over here in Indian constitution, that it is a detailed written constitution. Our constitution has written down. The rules and regulations in constitution has been written down deeply or elaborately. That is why we are saying that Indian constitution is a detailed written constitution. It is the longest constitution in world. Indian constitution is the longest constitution. That means each and every rules has been specified very clearly. That is why we say that we are having a long constitution. Detailed information is given for each and every law, for each and every procedure, and for each and every rules in our constitution. Whatever rule our constitution is having, whatever laws our constitution is having, all those rules and laws have been all these rules and laws, detailed information has been given in our constitutional book, which is called as Indian Constitution. When we see our Indian Constitution, and why we are saying that our constitution is a detailed, longest written constitution, because it has 22 parts. Our constitution is divided into 22 parts. And each part is having a specific details about rules and regulations, rights and duties of the citizen. We have 395 articles. Indian constitution totally have 395 articles. 395 articles means the law which we need to follow in India. In India we are following many rules or many laws which is related to our constitution. Like let's take an example. We have fundamental rights, or you can say we have property laws. And we also have our civil laws or our criminal laws. All these laws have been written in our constitution, which is called as articles. So we have 22 parts in our constitution, 395 articles are there, and 8 schedules are there. Schedules means we have a federal system, or we are having a federalism in India. Federalism means India has been divided between Indian government has been divided between 3 categories. We are having separation of power, which is called as federalism. Separation of power means we are having central government, state government and local government. Our government has divided in 3 spheres: central government, state government and local government, and they work on their own shell. And our constitution has given them 8 schedules. Under 8 schedules, central, state and local government's powers and their duties have been divided differently. So in Indian constitution we are having 22 parts, 395 articles and 8 schedules. That is why we say that Indian Constitution is a detailed written constitution, or it is the longest constitution. And it also gives us many rights and duties of citizens. We have fundamental rights and directive principles which is given in Indian Constitution, and rights have been defined very specifically in our Indian Constitution. Directive principles, duties of Indian citizens, duties of government, duties of officials which are there in our government, all the information has been written in detail in our Indian Constitution. That is why we say that it is the detailed or longest written constitution in world, because it has 22 parts, 395 articles and 8 schedules. Second feature, when we go further, second feature of Indian Constitution is provisions of amendment. Now, this was a very important feature of Indian Constitution. Why this is very important? Because as time passes, see, as we got independence in 1947 and we make our constitution on 26 Jan 1951. From that time to now, in 2020, time changes fast, and according to the time, people also changes. Needs of people also changes, requirements changes, aspirations changes. So many changes are there from 1951 to 2020, and to fulfill that change or requirements, changing requirements or needs of the citizens, our constitution has given one law that according to the time and needs and requirements of the people, constitution can be amended. We have a provision of amendment of the constitution. Constitution can be amended means we have a living document. Living document means we can change the constitutional laws according to our need and requirements as time changes. But it is not very easy. We need to follow a specific procedure which is laid down in the Constitution. Constitution has given a special provision through which, if requires, we can change our constitution, which is called as law of amendment. It is called as law of amendment, a procedure to change the constitution which is there written in our constitution, which is called as amendment of the constitution or change in the constitution. That change is not occurred easily, because if it occurred easily, our government or maybe a powerful authorities can misuse it. They can change the constitution according to their will or according to their own benefit. That is why the law of amendment is there. If you wanted to change, we have a benefit that we can change our constitution according to our need, according to the time passes. But we also have a condition that we have a procedure or specific procedure through which we can change our constitution, and that procedure is called as law of amendment. Now, what is that procedure? If you wanted to change the constitution or if you wanted to amend the constitution, we have law of amendment. In a parliament, as we know that in a parliament we have two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. If anyone or if any leader or if anyone wants to amend the constitutional law, any constitutional law according to the need and requirement, what they need to do, they need to propose the amendment. They need to propose that thing in a Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, both the houses of parliament. Then 3/4 of the members should be ready to change the constitution. Voting is there, and if in a voting 3/4 of the parliament member, if they are ready to change the constitutional law, then constitution can be amended or constitutional laws can be changed. It cannot be totally amended or totally changed. We can change or we can amend a small parts of it or a small laws of it. We cannot change the constitution fully or you can say completely. Some parts of it can be changed. Like, let's take an example, right to property. When right to property has been introduced in constitution, it said that property rights has given to the son of the family. Only son is having a right on property of father and family. But afterwards, after some times, when we are talking about the gender equality, right to property has been changed, and it said that 80% is given to son or 20% is given to daughter. But as time changes, further it has been changed 50% to son or 50% to daughter. So that change has been there, and to bring that change there is a procedure which is called as amendment procedure, in which both the houses of the parliament, both the members of the houses of the parliament, they need to vote, and if 3/4 of the people, or if the 3/4 of the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are ready to change the constitution, then it can be amended. So second feature is provision of amendment, which means that our constitution is a living document. If we want, through one procedure we can change the constitution, or we can amend the law of the constitution. Now moving further, third feature of Indian constitution is a sovereign democratic republic. Our Indian constitution is sovereign democratic republic. That means in our constitution it is declared that India is having sovereignty, democracy, and India is having a republic country, or India is having a republic. What that means? First we will say that India is having a sovereignty. Sovereignty means India is free from external control. It is free from external control. Free from external control means we don't follow monarchy, or we don't follow colonialism. That means no any other country or any other foreign country is having a right to interfere in our political, social and economic matters. Our Indian government is having a total power to govern our country, or to rule our country according to the constitution. No other foreign country or no other country can control over our matters, or no other country is ruling, or they are having a control in our affairs. Only our government can control our internal affairs and matters in our country, either it is political, economical and social, which means sovereignty. That means India is having sovereignty according to our Indian constitution. We are free from external control, because we have that experience of colonialism. 50 years Britishers ruled upon us. So to avoid that thing, we have a sovereignty, which means that we are free from external control. Then what do we mean by democracy? Democracy means Indian constitution is declared India as a democratic country. Democratic country means we don't have any monarchy, or we don't have a king's rule. We are having our own government, and people or Indian citizens are having a right to elect their own government, or to choose their own government, choose their own representatives by elections. The whole election procedure has been given in Indian constitution, through which after every 5 years we conduct the election, and people are having a right to vote, and they can select their own government. And republic means that we are having, when we select our government and when we choose our government, on a very upper level we are having president, then we are having prime minister and parliament. Now when we are talking about rule, as I have told you before, American constitution declared America as a country which has a presidential rule. That means head of a country is president. President is having a control over the country. But when we are talking about India, India is having a parliamentary rule. That means the most powerful authority in India is parliament, or two houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So we are following a parliamentary kind of government. Parliamentary rule is there. Next one is a socialist and secular country. Indian constitution has declared India as a secular and socialist country. That means socially or politically every citizen is equal in India. Everyone is having equal rights. It says that we are having, when we are talking about the socialism or socialist, that means in a society, irrespective of gender, caste, language or creed or race, we are having an equal right, which supports the universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means that after the age of 18, each and every citizen of India is having a right to vote. That means in elections they are having a right to vote, one person one vote. That means they are having a right to vote to select their own government, to choose their own representatives who can run the government, which is the most important feature of democracy. If we wanted to declare, when we are declaring ourselves as a democratic country, and when we are saying that we live in a democratic country, it means that it is for the people. and people must have a right to choose their own government, and India has given that right to people through universal adult franchise, which says that each and every citizen of India, after completing the age of 18, they are having a right to vote, they are having a right to select their own government through elections or through vote. And we say that we are having social and economic equality in India. Social equality means in a society everyone is equal, all the social rights have been divided equally amongst the citizen. And we say that we are having economic equality. Economic equality means everyone is having a right to do a job according to their qualification, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their religion. Everyone is having an equal right to do work, everyone is having an equal right to earn money for their livelihood, and everyone is having an equal right of education. When we say that India is a secular country, that means Indian Constitution has declared India as a secular country, because in India we are having different religious people who are having different caste, who are having different languages, different culture, different ideology, and Indian Constitution has given them equal rights, has given equal respect to all the citizens, all the languages, all the religion, or all the religious people or religious ideology, which makes India as a secular country, which says that unity in diversity. India has unity in diversity. So today we have learned 4 features of Indian Constitution, which is a detailed written constitution, it is the longest constitution. Second, provision of amendment according to the time or need or requirement of citizens. Constitution can be amended by special procedure. Third, we have a sovereign, democratic and republic. That means Indian Constitution declares India as a sovereign, democratic republic country which is free from external control. And fourth one is Indian Constitution declares India as a socialist and secular country. That means socially or religiously everyone is equal in the eyes of law. So over here we have finished with the video. Next points of features of Indian Constitution we will see in next video. Thank you.